Hi everyone, and a warm welcome to Low Season Traveller Insider Guides. This past month, we were invited over to the Islands of Tahiti by our good friends at Tahiti Tourisme so that we could learn exactly what the experience is like for visitors during the low season period. The Islands of Tahiti are arguably among the most stunningly beautiful in the world. Formed from the demise of 3 volcanoes, these islands have not only an incredible natural beauty, but they also have an ancient, rich and diverse cultural heritage which remains strong to this day. In this series, we seek to learn more about the traditions, beliefs, culture and heritage as we set out to discover the true essence of Tahiti when we meet the Tahitians. Episode 3, Mateata. Mateata is joyful. She has an infectiously warm, powerful and energetic presence and is indeed a force of nature. Mateata is proudly Moorean. Born and raised on this smaller and quieter island just 30 minutes from Tahiti, Mateata was called by the ocean at a young age. She has sailed all over the world with her passion for seafaring always ensuring that she bore the true colours of her Polynesian identity along the way. Now, back at her ancestral home in Moorea, I caught up with Mateata at the peaceful bay where Captain Cook first landed in Tahiti. A fitting location to learn more about the true Polynesian culture of Tahiti and perhaps a short history lesson. Enjoy. Yorana.
Yorana.
Lovely to see you. First of all, could I ask you to introduce yourself to our viewers and our listeners?
Yes, of course. So I am Mateata and I am an island girl, born and raised here on the island of Moorea and very proud to be Tahitian.
I love that. And tell me this, what is your Tahiti? You're proud to be a Tahitian. What does Tahiti mean to you and what does it mean to be a Tahitian?
Being a Tahitian is, I would say, having a beautiful soul. Yeah, like beautiful soul, beautiful heart, and being authentic. Yeah, that's for me a Tahitian person. It's all about like living with the nature.
Yeah.
And my grandpa always told me that, you know, human being and the nature, they're one. If you respect the nature, they'll respect you. And you have to connect with the nature. If you don't connect with the nature, then you fall. Like, what's the point to live? Yeah. You have, like, everything that is in the world is like, what nature gives is the best. Like, we live with, like, we go fishing. But we don't just go fishing just like that, like massive fishing. We read the moon, like we go when it's the right time. And we also let the fishes reproduce, you know, like it's a whole cycle. And that's the beauty of the Tahitian culture. Even for farming, like you don't just farm like that. You watch the moon, you watch what's around you, and you actually observe it and you analyze it. When is the right moment, when is not the right moment, and then you live in like as if like it's one. And that's what I love about my culture.
I love it. Listening to nature
Yeah,
rather than
read the nature. Like you don't need, like my grandpa would always tell me, you don't need this like phone that you guys have. Just step outside and watch. Take hours to watch what's in the nature. The nature will tell you, oh, it's gonna rain like soon, or you're gonna have like a big swell. Like you don't need this like electronic phones. And that's us. Like, and I think like the, you know, the globalization came here and destroyed this. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I don't like when European came here, but like when they came here, they destroyed everything. they wanted us, because before we were like Egyptians, we were believed in many gods, you know. Now they turn us into like Christians. We have to be Catholic and Protestant. They destroy our temples. They destroyed all the tikis that we had. They said this was wrong to believe in this. But like, why? Why? They also forbid my parents' generation to speak Tahitian at school, which is wrong. Like, for me, like, this is our culture. We're first Tahitian, then we're French. But like, they made us forget what we truly are, where our roots were. And I'm actually fighting for this to like, I want us to go back to our roots. And I want like tourism to like come here and come for our authenticity, you know? Not just for like, oh, I want to go on a overwater bungalow in St. Regis in Bora Bora. Don't get me wrong, it's nice, but this is not Tahiti. Like, I'd rather go to like a little pension and like have an experience with local people rather than going to, you go to the Maldives, you go to Venice, you go to, I don't know, Spain, you go to Las Vegas, you have this like hotels, like beautiful hotels. You don't need to come to Tahiti to stay at a beautiful hotels like that. The beauty of Tahiti is not at the hotels like that. It's where locals are. And yeah, for traveling the whole world, I was like, wow, I'm truly blessed to come from an island like Moorea, you know.
Do you find that when because you have traveled the whole world, right?
I did, yeah.
And do you find that through traveling the whole world you have an even greater appreciation of your island?
I do. I traveled a lot with my parents. I was very fortunate to travel with them, but I also had like my grandparents also raised me by teaching me the values and the principles of a Tahitian people, and I always had that in the back of my head, and I was always like I was feeling blessed to have this, but when I travel the world and I see people watching me like, why are you so nice like that? And I'm like, I don't know, like this is who I am. Like, yeah, like people nowadays, they're not nice like that. Like, why do you wanna help us? I said, because this is who I am. This is what we do in our country, in our islands. And I was like always wearing my flowers. Like, I had fake flowers, but for me it was like maybe waving my flag, you know, like, hey,
I like that.
This is me, a Tahitian girl, like traveling the world. And I was proud to wear my flowers. It was wearing my flag, you know.
Yeah.
And having the smile, like always helping people. Like, this is like, for me, I was I don't know, maybe telling my ancestors and my grandparents that, you know, the work you did, like, I'm proud, like, to show people, to share with people the beauty of my country. Yeah.
I love that. It's, as you're talking, and it's making me realise, first of all, that I would imagine that you are a very good ambassador for Tahiti and her islands as you travel, and that's, I think that's an important role of when we travel. You know, we should be a good representative of where we come from,
yes.
and represent our destination well. And it's just another side of travel. It's about learning about others and seeing how others live and seeing what we can learn from that. But then also being a representative, a good ambassador. But then also, I think, and I was speaking to somebody recently about this, saying when I travel, when I come across a culture that I really warm to and I understand, I find myself being an ambassador for that destination, and I feel like I will be an ambassador for Tahiti and the islands when I return from this trip, because it's left its mark on me in a nice way, in a very nice way.
That's good. And you know, my grandpa, he was one of the pioneers of the tourism here in Moorea. He always teach me, even my dad, the beauty of sharing. We're people that love to share. And you know, when I also do I'm a guide for tours, and all the time I'm telling the tourists that I am proud to be Tahitian. I am proud to share my culture with you guys, because this is me welcoming you guys, and it's coming from the heart.
Yeah. You're actually from here in Moorea.
Yes, born and raised.
Born and raised. I love that. We've just arrived here in Moorea literally an hour ago.
Wow.
What is this is a difficult one, I know, but what is there to do in Moorea? For somebody who's never heard of Moorea, some of our listeners and our viewers, they might not be aware of Moorea. Tell us about Moorea.
So, first of all, Moorea is an island. For me, it's one of the most beautiful islands from all the other beautiful islands, because Moorea still have what we call it the mana. The mana is actually a good spirit or good soul. Moorea means yellow gecko.
Ah, okay.
Mo'o for gecko and rea for yellow. And thanks to a legend, and Moorea has so many legends to be heard. And in Moorea, everything is nice. You can go on a nice lagoon cruise, swimming with stingrays, sharks, turtles, with a marine life. You can also explore Moorea in the inside, go on a safari trip through the pineapple fields. And when you go in the inside of the valleys, especially the valley of Opunohu, you can see all this pineapples and all other tropical fruits. It's very rich, very lush, and full of mysteries. You can walk, you can do hike through the to the ancient hike. There's a big map of all these hikes. You can visit the temples. You can also visit our juice factory.
Okay.
We gather all the pineapples and the fruits of the island to make liquors, juices, and any rum. We also do rum here.
Okay.
Yeah, even culinary. There's you can also go on a what we call ahima'a tour. It's actually they show you how to make the traditional way of cooking, cooking underground.
Okay, I think I've seen this somewhere.
Yes.
I think I've seen this somewhere where
It's
under the sand.
Yes, it's actually everywhere in the Pacific. Yeah, and there's a lot to explore in Moorea.
Absolutely, and obviously there's this place where we are now. Tell us, where exactly are we? We arranged to meet here, and it was your suggestion, so you must have had some inside knowledge on this. But when we turned up just before you arrived, myself and Ty here, we were just saying, this place is special.
Yeah.
This feels very special.
It is very special. One thing is because when I was a kid, my grandpa would take us on a ride, and he'll stop to places to tell us some legends of the island, and he'll stop right inside that bay that we call Opunohu. and he'll tell us like the legends of that valley, of the mountains, and like you see, like one of the most beautiful mountains of the Tahitian island is Moorea, and it's actually the icon of Moorea. And this is also a place which is like very dear to me because this is where I started my career as a yachty. Like I used to work on private yachts, and my first trip was here in Moorea. Like my first mooring was into this bay, so that was very special to me. And now I came back from like this great career because I have a little son now.
Oh, really?
And I always told myself that the day I have a kid, I'll come back to my island where my roots are, and I'll raise him and plant his roots here too. And now I'm a yacht agent, and I'm based here in this marina right here too. Yeah,
it's a wonderful spot. And you were saying as well, because when we walked up, we could see there was like a statue of the globe, Captain James Cook.
Yes.
This was where he
first landed, right inside this little cove in Opunohu Bay. Yeah? Yes.
Wow.
So yeah, everything is like linking, and it's a place that is very, very dear to me. Yeah.
It's certainly a very, very special place. When you were traveling, when you were doing all of your traveling, was there anywhere that you went to that made its mark on you as a traveler?
Yes, I think it was the Solomon Islands. I went to this island that is called Lata, which is like on the easterly side of the Solomon Islands, and I went there with a yacht, and I realized that this place was like untouched. There's like no electricity, no cars. They don't have money. They trade.
No way, really?
Yeah, and I saw these kids. They were like the happiest kids ever, and I was like, I'm sure like Moorea was like that back then. And I was like, this is the real life. Like this is like no money, no electronics, there's nothing that can actually have people like compete, or have people like
probably greed, a little bit of it.
Yes.
You know, it's that where we're competing for resources rather than working together in
and
collaboration and sharing resources so that everybody can have some.
And it really marked me, because I was like, I think this is the best life. Like this is how we should live, and not like buying the next Apple or iPhone or the newest computer. Like this is not life. Like
Exactly.
Rather than that, I did enjoy like every places that I went. Like for me, like everywhere you go, you always find a beauty in a country, like in a culture, and that's my point of like traveling, is to actually go to the culture, to immerse myself in a culture, to hang out with local people, because this is the beauty of traveling, I think. Yeah, it's not like going to a bar or I don't know, like go to hotels. It's actually to like learn the culture and just embrace the culture.
Absolutely, I love that. I want to thank you so much for taking the time out to speak with us.
Maururu to you guys.
Maururu to you, it's really appreciated. It was lovely to hear from you and to learn a little bit more about Tahiti, and we hope that many more people will come to Tahiti and the islands and Moorea to experience these kind of places for themselves and to learn more about the culture and the heritage of the islands as well. But maruru, thank you so much.
Maururu.